Hey guys, welcome to my new series on the Minecraft Create mod. In this series we're going to have several episodes showing you how various components work using the Minecraft Create mod, and then in between those we'll have small project episodes where we can build a project together using the components in the Create mod. Now the idea being, by the end of the series we'll all know how to use Create mod properly and what the various components do. So we're going to start today with the water wheel. But before I show you the water wheel, I need to show you some other stuff. So I need to explain how this all works. So with the Minecraft Create mod, everything is powered by stress units. Now, what that means is just that there is power going through and it's called stress. Basically it's really not that complicated, but what we're going to do today is focus on generating that power or stress in order to power something else. Now I'm going to show you the water wheel components today and how they work and what they do. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so there are actually two water wheels in the Create mod. The first is this one. This is a small water wheel and it will generate 256 stress units. You can see there on the screen 256 SU. Now, the way it works is it is in running water like this, and it will go around, and then on the output here, where I put the shaft here, that will be 256 stress units. Now, you can improve that by adding more water wheels. So now you will get a slightly higher stress unit output. So you can see this one says 256. That one over there says 256 as well. If I put this gizmo on the end, this is a gauge and it can tell us that there's a total coming out here of 512 stress units there. Okay? Simple. Now we can add as many of these as we want. So there are 3, and then there is 768 stress units coming out of it there. Now that is pretty basic, and that's what happens, and that's what comes out of there. These can then power various things. You can add shafts onto it like this. I'm not going to have a whole episode on shafts, but basically they come out of here and they transfer the stress units along. Now, I said we had 2 types of water wheel. We do. The second one is this giant guy. It's just huge. Look how much bigger than me this is. It's massive. But it works exactly the same way, but does a bit more. So this one generates 512 stress units, and you can again put multiple on there. And then if we put the gauge on the end, you can see coming out of this now is 1500 stress units coming out the end there. Now, why would you want to use the little one when the big one does so much more? Well, it's just a space thing. That one's quite small and neat, whereas the big one is massive and takes up loads of room. It's literally so big. Yeah, it's huge. But yeah, that is the basics of the water wheel. So the water wheel goes through the running water. As you can see, I've just got it running along the bottom here, and that powers it quite nicely. You don't need to have a waterfall or anything like that. Although, having a waterfall would look pretty cool, I've got to say. But yeah, that's the water wheel and how it works. And you can have as many of these as you want. I don't believe there's any sort of maximum. And then you can have your output coming along here to whatever you want. And we'll get into more of that in the other episodes. But yeah, this is the water wheel, and this is our main component for creating stress units. There are some others, and we will go into them in more episodes. But that is the basics of the first thing you need to learn. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing in this episode because it doesn't deserve a whole episode of its own. It is real simple. So let's get straight into that. What you can use these for is to turn cogs. Now, if I put a cog on the end here, you can see that that then in turn is turning. I can then put another cog on, which will make it that one turn as well. And we can carry this on as long as you want. So I can have, oh, I can't have a cog down there because these two are going in opposite directions. But I could have a cog here, and this could go on forever. I can make as many of these as I want. And we can power various things with these cogs. And then there are small cogs to go with the big cogs. And so, yeah, it gets... Oh, it's very, very complicated. There's lots of them. We can have a little one. We got lots of cogs. But I didn't want to do a whole extra little episode on cogs because they're really not difficult. The one thing to remember is that when you put 2 cogs together, like these 2 little ones that I've got here, they will go in opposite directions. So you'll see that the shafts are actually turning the opposite way. So if you want to change the direction something's going, you can use 2 cogs to do that. That's real straightforward. But yeah, that is it for this first episode. And I know that seems like it's nothing, and it really is. We've learned literally the first thing we need to learn. But I wanted to keep these in small chunks so that you can find them quickly and easily. If you wanted to find just the water wheel episode, you've got just the water wheel episode. If you want to find out more about just the windmill, then we will find out more about that in another episode. And it will mean that everything should be really easy for you to find. I'm going to start the next episode on something a bit more complicated, so make sure you hit subscribe for that so you can check that out next time. And we will get back into the Create mod again real soon. I hope you enjoyed this first real small, real basic episode to give you an intro into the Create mod, and we will do more of these real soon, including a bigger project. I'll see you soon. Cheers for watching. Bye!